To celebrate our 400th issue of 220 Triathlon magazine, we speak to the multisporting legend that is Tim Don about how he's seen the sport change over the last 30 years, what he makes of the mighty Christian Blumenfeld, and how he'd like to see the sport progress.
I was getting the Christmas decorations down last night in the rafters of the garage, and we've got boxes and all sorts. And I undid a box, and it was the year of 1993, 220 mags, all of them. I think I've virtually got them all since the beginning.
Oh, that's cool. Do you remember what was your first one?
It would have been probably 92 or 1992, I would say. Probably a Spencer Smith one, or Julian Jenkinson. I remember Steve Burton, those kind of guys. That's when I really got into triathlon, 92, 93.
Yeah. Do you remember when you were first on the cover?
I'm guessing 1998, probably. I think I've got it somewhere framed. It was my first ever cover, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, what were you doing back in 1989 then? So you said you got in sport in 92. What was 1989 then? That's when we started. So just what year?
1989.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have been 11. So I would have just been running, playing football. Just kind of all sports. I wasn't doing triathlon.
Sure,
Is when I changed swim clubs, because the swim club I changed to when I was a bit older, that was where the local triathlon club was based out of.
Yeah.
And I could always run cross country well, and they were looking for, I guess, a junior athletes, and Stuart Hayes was already there. So that's kind of like the rest is history. That was Thames Turbo. How
it all began. So what did and does 220 mean to you?
When I was younger, it was the holy grail. I mean, you lived for the magazine to come out. You wanted to see who'd done what, where, all over the world, the latest technologies. And then as I got a little bit better, you wanted to be in the mag. That was the kind of like, I'm in the mag and whatnot. Now obviously with the digital age, it's I still get the hard copy, but also I think the platform now is just so wide and diverse, and I just think it's something. It's like a it's like a real staple in our sport. We know what you're getting. You're going to get you're going to get good up to date kind of information about what's current, and I'm sure the articles have evolved as the results pages have, and the kind of like in the amount of in-depth reviews you guys do.
It's funny you say about you were looking forward to getting the mag, seeing if you're in it, because Alex G posted a photo the other day. He'd found it in because he was on the cover for the first time.
Yeah.
It was really sweet, and he posted it.
He did it was his meal deal. I saw that.
That's him. You mentioned Spencer Smith. So who were your other sporting heroes back then?
Definitely in triathlon, Spencer Smith, Simon Lessing. Outside of triathlon, Haile Gebrselassie. He was a massive sporting hero. I was really immersed in kind of like round Teddington, St Mary's University, all kind of like that endurance area. They were kind of like my three kind of like guys that I would have looked up to, as a young junior athlete.
What about now? You were any sporting heroes from nearer?
Well, current sporting heroes. I mean Kipchoge, what he's done, and still Haile Gebrselassie. I mean, if you actually look what he's doing now, how much money he's invested, he's had a fantastic career, and financially he's done very well, and how much, I think he owns a few hotels, and he always employs, local people. I know there's lots of unrest now in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and he's really trying to fight the cause, for equality. So I think he's just on and off the field. Haile is still a good one. Kipchoge, you can't help but love the guy. He's just so calm and collective, and he does what he says. Every race, I think he's won virtually every race except the two he's ever done. So they're really amazing athletes to look up to.
1992, Tim, what would you tell him now? What advice would you give him?
I think believe in your dreams, train hard, listen to people who are older and wiser than you, because you don't know it all. You're young, dumb, when you're that age. So, if people are, and I think, I know this doesn't make sense, but less is more. When you're younger, you just want to go faster, you want to go further, you want to push yourself. But, you see that with so many talented athletes at the moment, in February they're flying and then they're injured come the season. So yeah, I think it's listen to your body, enjoy the journey, but yeah, have big dreams,
Yeah.
Why not? Why can't it be you? Why can't it be me?
Avoid that white truck in 99.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't go to Hawaii 2017. Fly in 2 days before the race from Maui.
How is the injury now? How 4 years on? Like, what does it still affect you?
Yeah, I mean, I always get especially in the winter, but yeah, I always get stiffness there, and I don't have as much mobility through my neck, but it's very manageable. I just need to stay on top of it. It'll always be with me, and I'm sure it'll get worse. Just the way that it's such a tiny bone that when it heals, there's that calcification. So yeah, I don't have as much range, but I can't complain. I think age is slowing me down, not my neck. Maybe I tell people it's my neck, but I'm sure it's age.
What are the biggest changes that you've seen then in the sport over the last 30 years?
Everyone's getting faster, younger. As I said, when I got into the sport at 13, I was quite young to be a triathlete. Now I think by then you're already a talent ID athlete. My daughter is 11. When we lived in America, she was already doing triathlons. Well, even when I was at school, 13, my PE teachers genuinely didn't know what triathlon was. So I think that development from a professional side, and I think on a global scale, it's just so bigger. Everyone knows what triathlon was. You don't go, I do triathlon. Well, what is that? And what do you mean? So the gun goes and then you're wet. How do you get out of your swim coat? Do you go in the changing rooms? You don't need that. They're like, oh, wow, do you do Ironman? Do you go to the Olympics? There's that crazy short, fast stuff as well. What's that called? Triathlon is just snowballed, and it is just such a fulfilling sport, for everyone on their own journey. It's not just about winning. We're all on we've all got our own path. So yeah, I love to see that, especially now back in America. You don't see it so much because the country's so big. There's only 1 or 2 local triathlons where you live, and then you've got to fly to the others. Well, here I can go and watch the Outlaw at Nottingham. I can go to Blenheim. I can go to the London Triathlon. They're really, really, so you can just see the enthusiasm and how much it's growing at the moment. So yeah, I think that's amazing to see.
Would you prefer to have been a junior now to when back in the 90s?
If I know what I know now and I could be a junior, 100%. If I don't know what I know now, definitely not. I see it. The juniors are they're so robotic. They don't race. It's all, you've got to do a time trial. You've got to do another time trial. It's not about racing. When I was younger, we raced so much. You got to remember, when I was 17, the junior distance was a non-drafting Olympic. Well, now you don't do an Olympic until you're 20, and it's drafting, which is considerably, I wouldn't say easier, but less stress on your body. So the sport's evolved so much. So I definitely had an amazing time and traveled the world when I was a junior. So no, I wouldn't change it for the world. I loved it back then.
What did you make of this year's Olympics?
I mean, the Olympics were fantastic. I mean, I think it was a long time coming, 5 years, not 4. We didn't get the crazy heat, and I think the cherry on the cake is, as heartbreaking as it was with Georgia, the last 5K of the bike with a puncher, just goes to show what true character can do and determination. So that was amazing. And then, to set Alex, who's just flown in relatively under the radar until Leeds, I would say. It was only Leeds, I would say, everyone believed that he could fight for a medal. And that's heavy as the contender, So, he really lived up to expectations. And then was it 3 days later to deliver again? That relay, Jonathan Brownlee, I swear that's one of the best triathlons he's had in that relay leg in the last 4 or 5 years. He just executed it perfectly. And then Alex to bring it home like that, going toe to toe with Vincent. I loved it. It was awesome.
And you were there for the Paralympics?
That's right. Yeah, I was there for 3 weeks in Japan. We were on a training camp training with Dave and Luke and the rest of the team. And then I flew up to Tokyo with the team, and I was able to watch the race. So that was amazing to be a part of. Yeah. And it's even more special because not all categories are in the Olympics, and they changed them. And Dave, his category VI, visually impaired, wasn't in Rio, but they've just announced the categories for next year, and they've actually got 11, so they've got one more. And again, in the Commonwealth Games, there is only one category in triathlon. It's one female and one male. So inclusion is coming, but it's so slow. But I can see here, I train with them still. I swim with them 4 or 5 times a week. And the inclusion is just fantastic, but we just need it. we need the pace to double. We need, we need the not the ITU, World Triathlon to really embrace it a lot more.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
I mean, if you blow up or you overheat or you get ill, these things. I mean, I've been there, getting ill at an Olympic Games, but if you're chained to snap, I'm probably going to tempt fate now. I don't know if I've ever had a chain snap in me in my whole career, racing or training. So to happen on that stage, and at that time, we didn't know if Abu Dhabi was going to be a world championships. We knew the Europeans were going on in Valencia, but that's a poor man's second. They went there, destroyed the field there. But so in some ways, it was very important for them emotionally that they had a good race in Abu Dhabi, and they had a fantastic race. And Sutton Park, the course has been released. Next year, the Commonwealth Games, they can race again. But that was a tough day. And I've got and Claire Cashmore is his partner, and the fact that she still had to race. That the way she managed that, and Dave managed that, and the whole team around them, it's a really tight team. It was tough, but it was really good to see everyone come together and how much it meant for everyone.
Claire's our Q&A in the issue that we're about to go to print.
She's an amazing woman.
Incredible. And she wrote a book.
I've got it. My son loves it.
Cool.
Splash. She's actually going to my wife's a primary school teacher. She's going to their school to do a little talk about the book and everything. So brilliant. Brilliant. No, amazing woman.
Let's talk about Christian Blumenfeld. There's an athlete. What do you make of his performance this year? And do you think his record should stand?
No, it should still be 7:40.23, my record.
Not even Frodeno.
No, that doesnhad count. Come on, no one could. I would have gone quicker on that course, but I just didn't get a chance. No, he had an amazing race in Tokyo. I was watching the men's race, and the longer that run went on, the more I was getting worried for Alex, Hayden, because with a mile to go, it's not so much his speed, but it's his inner belief in his own ability that I am the best, I will do this. And they tried to break him, and fair play, he hung on, and an incredible athlete. And then to go to the world, I felt sorry for him at World 70.3s because he had a mechanical that basically took him out the race. And then, Ironman's hard enough, but to go to Cozumel with that heat and humidity, I know it wasn't that hot that day, but that's what he had to train for. And he does what he says on the tin. He said a couple of years ago he's going to win an Olympic medal, and he said he was going to go really fast in an Ironman, and he did. So I wonder if he's bitten off more than he can chew going into next year, because I know he wants to try and win St. George, and then the World Ironman champs, and then 3 weeks later is sub-7. That's quite a tough turnaround. But if he says he can do it, I will not argue with him. But he's a new breed of athlete, and Alex, Hayden, Vasco, I've got an amazing, Vince is kind of, they're learning off people like Vince and Martin Van Riel, Marion Mola, those guys, Alistair, Johnny, they're taking it to the next level, I think. But I think the sport is developing because of, all those people have come before it. Christian, he's definitely the man to beat at the moment.
Yeah, totally. What is Tim Don up to right now? Not right now, I know you're sat.
Just got back from an 18k run. I'm dead. No, I'm training for next season. I'm hoping to do Lanzarote 70.3 in March, and then in April, Ironman South Africa. Hopefully, we're over the travel bans then. I'm also working with the Zwift Academy, so I'll be at St. George World Champs, and in January I'm going with them to the wind tunnel in California, and we're taking them to St. George so they can look at the course. So I'm also working on a project with one of my good friends called Ian Dempsey, a British domestic pro, and we're actually setting up a club which is going to hopefully go live mid to end of January.
Okay.
So it's going to be a new concept in the triathlon market. So we're working really hard, probably too hard. So hopefully it's an exclusive club that is very inclusive for everyone and anyone. But once you join,
an online platform.
It's going to be an online platform, but we're also going to have a lot of face-to-face stuff as well. We're going to have like these spontaneous coffee and ride days that I'll be at and Ian will be at. We're going to have lots of sessions on Zwift exclusively for the club members. We've got some really good partners involved, so there's going to be some really good deals for everyone. We're doing loads of, all we're doing is filming video content at the moment, so we've got a really interesting catalogue, that I think, and we're also going to do a whole section on under 16s, but not just for the juniors, but also for their parents. Because it's a funny stage, because it's a bloody expensive sport, not just money but time wise, and it's just getting that balance right. And I think I've learned a lot through my career. So we're going to be launching that hopefully mid to end of January.
Oh, has it got a name?
It does. It's called HaloID.
Based out of the Midlands, where you are, yeah?
Well, yes, but it's going to be a global. I mean, anyone can join. But we'll be all over the country as well. We're not.
Okay.
No, we've got. We're going to have a satellite kind of meetups in various parts. Depends where the membership comes from. If there is a membership, who knows?
I think you underestimate yourself there. I think.
I love. Carry on working with Emma Pallant. I love coaching her. We're just at the tip of the iceberg of what she's capable of. She really is an amazing athlete. So we'll be focusing on World 70.3s right at the end of the year, because it's after Kona next year. So lots of things going on.
Going to be a busy year. How was this year for you? Did you manage to get? I mean, you obviously did a lot with Super League in September.
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, I had some good races in terms of myself. I just got unlucky. I mean, I was second off the bike at the Bolton Ironman. I think I got the second quickest bike ahead of Joe Skipper and those boys. But it was very wet and cold and rainy. And transition area was in a field, and there was about a 20-meter gravel road to get to the road. It was only 20 meters, and I tripped on a pothole, and I came down quite hard, hit my head. Basically, I jarred my hip. So I ran about 8K, but I just had this really locked up hip that I couldn't put any weight through it. It was kind of like a sciatica. So unfortunately, it took me, and that was in the middle of the season, because that's like end of July. And then it took me probably about 4 weeks to sort it out. And then I went to Tokyo for a couple of weeks, and then it went to the Super League. So, and then 2 other races I was going to do, they got cancelled. One was it's Morocco Extreme X Tri.
Oh yeah.
So like a Norseman in Morocco, unfortunately they had to cancel it. And then I was going to do Montenegro Black Lake X Tri, but that got put on the red list. So I couldn't. In fact, I was actually going to drive to that race. It's 1,500 miles away in a camper van, and we were going to make a documentary kind of like about the journey there. Stop off at some. We're going to stop off at various places and do some fun things on the way. So next year, maybe, if I've got energy and time.
Have you been to Montenegro before?
I've never been there. No.
Let's go.
And it's right inland in this black lake. It's really dark, clear water, but really dark. And again, the course, the marathon, I think it's going to take someone like myself like 4.5 hours to run the marathon, as opposed to So I'm quite looking forward to different challenges like that.
Cool. I know we've briefly kind of touched on this, but how would you like to see the sport develop?
I think professionally, I would love to see more diversity within our sport. It is a very diverse sport, but I think we can really, it's such an open sport. We can really, try and encourage, more countries to be part of it. And I think the World Triathlon are really good at that. And that's kind of like junior professional level.
Yeah.
In terms of the age group, I would love it if Ironman and Challenge and PTO, they just stop arguing. Just like throw the olive branch in and just work together. Don't have Frankfurt the same day as Roth. Don't have Collins Cup the same day as, I don't know, World 70.3s. And I would love to see maybe the arena games in the Olympics. That would be brilliant. Maybe a team relay arena games, a mixed team relay. But I think we're so cutting edge when it comes with the technology. We're way ahead of cycling. The pros in the age group has really embraced it, whether it's on the bike, the swim, the wetsuits, and the running trainers and so forth. So I think we've done pretty well over the last 30 years. So I just say let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, brilliant. That's a great place to end. That's great. Thanks, Tim.